Bonjour à toutes et à tous les amis et bienvenue sur la chaîne YouTube de So Catch by Al. J'espère que vous allez bien, très heureux de vous retrouver aujourd'hui sur la chaîne avec une interview d'un des catcheurs que j'aime particulièrement, d'un des mecs que j'aime particulièrement, parce que quand on s'est rencontrés, il y a eu un bon feeling, c'est Tucker. Hi Tucker, how are you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Thank you very much. So we're doing this Discord interview because of course we can't meet physically. So
Yeah,
thank you for accepting this.
you're very welcome.
Yeah, you got such like a really big beard, like, and you let the hairs grows as well. Like,
Yeah,
you can
this
going
is
back.
actually this has actually been trimmed recently. It was down to about here about 2 days ago, so
Yeah, I saw that on your Instagram.
it was getting pretty bad.
So looks a bit better right now.
A little neater.
Yeah. My first question is a tough one. I would say, what's the magical recipe to like become a famous wrestler?
Yeah, that's a hard question. So what I always say is have something that stands out, and it kind of needs to be from even before you go out the curtain. So your entrance needs to kind of engage the audience. So that's your first kind of chance to kind of capture them. If you have them already invested, if you're already over by the time your entrance is done, you're halfway there. You know what I mean? So there's so many amazing workers now, but it's just character that's going to take you to that next level.
Yeah, yeah. I
You
remember
know?
you're doing this stuff with like kind of clapping in your
Yeah,
entrance, and I remember in the show like we did in Belgium. Not, I can assume that a lot of people didn't know you first, but as soon
yeah,
as you get here, like doing that,
yeah,
like people were into it.
yeah. That's the top dog bark. So they were all barking. That's it. That's always good.
Mm.
It's like a hook, I guess. It's just something that um, people get invested behind. So if you think about it, like Daniel Bryan had the yes
Yes, the
thing,
yes stuff exactly.
you know what I mean? It's instant crowd interaction, and he hasn't even hit the ring yet. Same thing with a bark, really. You know what I mean? You got to have something that's it's fun to do. If it's fun to do, there's more of a chance they're going to do it. You know, everybody wants to be a dog.
Yes, correct. Okay. Um, my second question is I've been traveling a lot and probably you too, you more than me, man. Would you say that the UK fans are one of the best public you can have for wrestling show? That's
Yeah.
my feeling.
Yes, 100%. Although Belgium and France are probably two of my favorite places to wrestle as well. I've been to France a couple more times now than what I have in Belgium, so it's probably top of my list. But the Body show was amazing, and I thought the atmosphere was great, and just like the whole compacted venue is always just sweeter for vocals and sound.
Yeah. In France it starts to get better, but it's still so-so. I would say people start to go into pro wrestling, but it's not as much developed as UK. I
Yeah,
I remember myself going in like UK shows like just crazy. Like people are so much into it. I don't know if it's because of alcohol of or just like the people, but you can feel the vibe. Like it's there definitely.
yeah, great atmosphere. Just I think like people are very passionate about it, although it's the same at a lot of the shows in France and Belgium too. I think you
Okay.
know.
So why do you think pro wrestling became so popular in UK the last few years? Because it really
Um,
popped up somehow.
there was just there was so many promotions, I guess, and then I think a lot of promoters started to put more emphasis on promotion itself, advertisement, and production. I think production goes a long way because there's so much great wrestling out there, but everybody talks about WWE. But it's the show, if you get me, because it's got the lights and the glamour and the fireworks and the pyro, etc. And a lot of indie companies now have like amazing kind of production value compared to when I started out. It was just you didn't even have an entranceway. You were coming out of fire exit and hoping for the best, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then it's really started to get better and better and better. And now
Yeah.
we also got like WWE with NXT UK. If we come back to your first run in WWE, how did you get there? To the
Um.
what was the first WWE UK tournament
Yeah. Yeah.
back to
So
2017?
yeah, that was a while ago now. A while ago now. I got an email, and then as because you've spoke to me now, you can understand how terrible I am with emails and phones and everything like that. So, I think I only seen it like a day later or 2 days later, and then I just thought it was a hoax email. I showed it to my brother, and then he sort of went, "Oh, this looks pretty legit." So then I ended up contacting Killian Dane, actually, of all people, and I said, "What do you think about this?" And he then messaged me back saying, "Hey, I forwarded your CV on to the WWE, so yeah, get yourself ready, pretty much." And I was like, "Ooh, okay."
And how much time was this before the actual event?
I think it was just over a month, maybe close to
Whoa.
2 months, so it was
No,
pretty good.
yeah, really short timing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Did you get some like special how can I say that in English? Like did they teach you a way to behave, way to do the entrances, way to work for the
Yeah,
camera? A lot?
100%. So, um, invaluable really is how I would explain that. Like, just kind of things you wouldn't even think about. In terms of an indie show, you don't think about when you're starting out anyway. Obviously, nowadays, all these indie guys are so tuned in because there's so many guys wrestling in WWE, so they're passing down their knowledge. But when I was younger, nobody would have said, "Oh, well, make sure you're looking at the camera when you do this," or when you're doing your entrance, stop here and think about this, or make sure you engage your crowd, yada yada yada. So it just completes you as a wrestler, if that makes sense. So it's just those. No matter how good you are on the independent level, you're 100% going to learn something when you go to the big stage or the TV as such. Anywhere, TV is just a different kind of ball game, and it is quite a different style of wrestling as well.
Yes. Okay. And how much like training time do you got? Like learning this before the actual show?
Um, so for me, coming from Belfast, there wasn't really anybody who was overly experienced in that way because they hadn't really been to WWE. But I'd spoke to a few guys that I'd been lucky enough to work against, and kind of the likes of like the Drew Galloways and the Paul Londons and guys like that who have been there, done that, and they kind of really, really helped me along the way. And still to this day would stay in touch and keep me right with certain things, which is cool.
Okay. Okay, yeah, really interesting. Glad you had this guy to teach you some, like to tell you, to explain you how it works.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Just like those little things that you just wouldn't really know unless you've kind of
Yeah.
you've been.
Okay. I guess that's like important stuff, but it's also stuff that you don't know before someone told you. And even if
Yeah,
it like can be really basic sometime, you just need
yeah,
someone to explain you first
yeah.
what they
Even like as a coach, if I break something down for someone or I'll teach something, I'll be like, "This is why you're doing it like this," and every single time it's something really, really. I am probably the most simple person you'll ever meet, so I will break it down in the most simple way, and people will just go, "Why did I not think of that?" So it's
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
it's the big thing as a wrestler. I think you over assess everything, so you're building this story in your own head to kind of satisfy you as a wrestling fan on a high level,
Mhm.
which is a great thing. I think that does make you a great worker, but sometimes you just overthink it. So somebody like a fan might actually have a better perspective on certain things because they don't over obsess or over digest things. They just go, well, "What about this?" And you go, "Ah, okay."
Yeah. Okay, understood. And then after that, you've been to the second tournament about a year later. And then after,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And
Maybe just over a year later, but yeah, in the round anyway.
okay. And after that again, you did some few matches on NXT UK, right?
Bits and pieces, yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that there are some different contracts at NXT UK. Can you tell me more about this? Or is it
Yeah, so
like
there is like a couple of different types. So there's
with the top
um,
guys that can't wrestle somewhere else, and like
certain
other contract that are are a little bit more free, stuff like this?
yeah. So like your main, so at that point in time, obviously like your main guys would have been like Pete and Tyler and Trent and Mark Andrews and Wolfgang, guys like that. So it was Pete especially, I guess, because he was the champion at the time, or Tyler maybe it was. But obviously they could only work for certain promotions, and the promotion that he worked for needed to just be completely professional, have medics on site in case anything did go wrong. A lot of times going to tapings, guys would have been injured, but they would never have been injured at WWE. They would have got injured maybe on an independent show, and I think that's why they had to kind of start nipping the independents on the bud. And I know a lot of fans weren't happy about that, but I can kind of see it from the WWE's perspective because they're paying their main salary, you know.
And what happened to you when you were released back in December 2018? It was
So
because of
I
an
didn't.
injury.
I had a concussion and then failed a concussion test, but then I did bits and pieces. I think after that, and then I was in like a weird kind of place with wrestling at the time. My confidence was very low after a
Mm.
couple of concussions and stuff, and then I didn't really show my full potential. I guess at the time, I guess I did in the first tournament. I did. Um, I was loose and I was relaxed and I was kind of everything in life was good and I was happy. And I always say it like if everything's good and you're happy, you're just going to perform better. But if you start to put this like obscene pressure on yourself, and then you start to kind of not enjoy the thing that you love doing, you know what I mean? So you just over again, it comes back to that over assessment. And I say to everybody that I coach, just don't go down that line of like it has to be fun. And if you're enjoying yourself, there's a very high likelihood that they're going to enjoy the show too.
Okay.
Like you were at the Bodies O show, and the crowd were with me the whole time, and I was invested. I was in like I was loving it. That was me kind of performing like I can perform. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I definitely as much as it sucks, it like taught me a lot of kind of hard lessons, but I've learned so much from it.
Okay. And so it wasn't you and WWE agreeing to split. It was just you being released.
So yeah, like my initial contract was coming to an end, and then they were sort of happy enough to kind of let it come to an end. So that was pretty much it. There was no hard feelings or anything
Yeah.
like that. Like, we're still on okay terms. So it's not like I could never go back there. It's just right now,
What
I got to get myself to a point where I want to go back and kind of be like, yeah, I'm ready to go back. I'm not going to go back just to be, a
another
filler.
guy?
Or
Yeah.
yeah, if I'm going to go back, I'm going to go back and do it right. Just pretty essentially like what Drew done. He went and whipped ass on the Indies, came back, and now he's winning the title at WrestleMania. That's
Hmm.
what everybody wants to do, right?
Yeah, I think. And how did you react like when you learned the news at the time?
It was
Pissed?
pretty hard. Yeah, I was kind of more crushed, because I was like, oh man, like I had so much more to give, and I never got a chance to give it, that way.
Mm.
Um, and it was like kind of was Christmas Eve when I got released as well, which was tough.
Yeah, it
But that was a
sucks.
pretty hard phone call. But these things happen, man. Took me a while, like, but back to wrestling the way I can wrestle and sort of have my confidence back, and I'm enjoying it again. That's the main thing this year, that I've kind of had that word with myself to be like, you know what, you're good at this. In fact, if you're not in an arrogant or a cocky way, but whenever I'm happy and I'm enjoying it, there's very little guys that can touch me out there. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Okay. So after that, you moved back to the indie. You did a couple of shows for OTT. I like OTT very well. Okay, what is your
Again,
feeling about this company?
great promotion, has came a really long way, and again, just amazing production value. You
Yeah.
know, it just sets it apart. Even if you watch it on OTT on demand, it looks fantastic, and it's half the battle with a product, in my opinion. If you turn the television on and there's something there to pull you in straight away before anything's even happened, you know. Some that like I used to watch Ring of Honor, and I loved Ring of Honor,
Yeah, it's
but
nice.
friends of mine back in the day, this is back way back when it was on the wrestling channel, like refused to watch anything that wasn't WWE because oh, the lighting's not good, or oh, it's a wee bit dark, or oh, they don't have an entranceway. Like, it sounds harsh, but certain fans just want to be catered to that, like, Showtime circus kind of
Yes.
entertainment side of things, whereas somebody like yourself can appreciate like a professional wrestling company, you know.
About other promotion in the UK, where can we see you? Maybe Progress? You've not been there yet.
Not yet, not yet. No, that's one for sure. I'll hopefully take off my list this year. Well, as soon as we all become ungrounded, potentially.
Okay. Is there any other pro wrestling promotion that you're targeting, like worldwide, maybe?
I think ICW is one that I would love to do. I was supposed to do ICW when I came to Belfast, but it kind of came to Belfast as I just torn my ACL and I
Ah,
got the surgery then, so that was kind of crushing. But and I've wrestled so many guys there who are like, "Oh, you have to get over, you have to get over, you have to get over," and then it's just there's been like another show where it just hasn't quite worked out. But hopefully this year, or well, maybe next year, depending on how things go.
yeah.
You know.
Not easy this time. You mentioned injuries. What are the biggest obstacle you have to overcome in your career? I think
Um,
injury is like big obstacles
yeah,
for the
100%.
body and for the
The
mind.
mind, yeah, 1,000%. So I tore my ACL and dislocated my patella,
Mm-hmm.
but the patella had actually been dislocated for potentially a year or more. So when I went to see the doctor, he said basically because I would train legs quite a lot, my quad had been holding my knee in place. It was like an average person would have been cooked.
Yeah.
Um, and that kind of put me out for 10 months. So the surgery was bittersweet. So after that, coming back, it just made me so hungry for it because obviously it's taken away from you. And this is, as much as a pandemic sucks, this is where I think wrestling's going to really benefit. All these guys, all the wrestlers out there, they're busting to get back in the ring.
Yeah,
So like
everybody.
the passion is going to be using out of every single dude because sometimes you do take this for granted. I know I did just before the surgery had happened, and whenever I kind of came back, it made me realize how much I did love it and how much you have to enjoy every minute of it because you never know. That was like, it's the stupidest thing that can put you on the shelf, you know what I mean?
Mm, yes. Who are your like best buddy in the business? Being from the UK, you should have a lot of friends in NXT UK. I can imagine that.
Um, Best buddies. Jack Stars is definitely up there. I'll
Yes.
stay in touch with Jack.
We
Uh,
heard a lot about you being trained by Finn Balor.
yeah, yeah. I did quite a lot of his seminars when I'm sort of more than when I was a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Um, I'd be pretty close with Joe Connors, Huxley, T Bone, guys like that. So all guys who are doing pretty well
Okay.
and seem to be enjoying it, which is cool.
All right. And to finish, very cliche question: who would be your dream opponent? Someone you've never faced.
Oof, dream opponent. It's always a dangerous one, isn't it? Um, I guess at the time, when Cena was in his prime, you always would have wanted to wrestle Cena because that was almost like the measuring stick. Always would have loved to wrestle somebody like AJ or Shawn Michaels in their prime as well. There's probably an endless list, to be honest with you.
Definitely not me. Maybe we can get a match someday.
Not yet. Maybe next year. Maybe next year.
Okay,
Definitely.
I need to train. I need to start training actually. I'm gonna try to start training this year. No.
DDP started late, man, you know.
No, I don't do that.
Man.
I don't do that. I can't be a wrestler. It's too painful. I don't know how you guys do that. It's definitely painful.
Yeah, it certainly is that. But most of them will say it's worth it. That's for sure.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I think we're done.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time. Merci à vous les amis d'avoir regardé cette vidéo. On se retrouve très bientôt sur la chaîne YouTube de So Catch by Al. Do you know how to say goodbye in French?
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Sois sûr de t'abonner à la chaîne en cliquant sur ma tête et regarde aussi les autres vidéos en cliquant à gauche. Allez, abonne-toi. Allez, abonne-toi mon pote. On est là pour ça.